On March 14, 2001, just before dawn, police officers from the Crime Management Unit, CMU, and the St. Catherine South Division approached a small house located at 1088 5th COA, Braeton, Portmore, Jamaica. A short time later, 7 youths had been shot dead: Reagan Beckford, age 15 years old, Lansford Clark, 19, Christopher Grant, 17, Curtis Smith, 20, Andre Virgo, 20, Dane Reynaldo, 19, Tamayo Wilson, 20. The shooting of these young men became popularly known as the Braeton 7. These are their stories. The killing of these young men came shortly after the murders of Police Constable Dwight Gibson and retired Customs Officer Dennis Braeton on the 1st of March 2001, and the murder of Braeton School Principal Keith Morris on March 13, 2001. A senior police officer alleged that the 7 young men were a part of a 20-man criminal enterprise who had been responsible for the killings of the constable, customs officer, and the principal.
Officers went to arrest Christopher Grant in connection with a murder. They identified themselves as officers, called for the door to be opened, and only fired on the house after coming under heavy fire from inside. Others in the house escaped. When they entered, they discovered the bodies of the 7 young men and took them immediately to Spanish Town Hospital.
We waited for about 2 minutes. We heard shuffling in the house and so on. And then all of a sudden, guns started blazing from the house through the windows. We took cover. And again, that was about 2 minutes. Again, we told the people to surrender. We are now satisfied that they had weapons and they are to lay them down and come out of the house. And to our surprise, again, they started firing. The police returned the fire, and after a lull, we went inside the home, and unfortunately, we saw some 7 persons suffering from injuries.
It was almost daylight when we heard the police outside, and all I could remember was fear, and us calling out to our neighbors and family who were awakened by the excitement and were outside as witnesses. I was shot 6 times. In the head, the abdomen, twice in the left forearm, and twice in the right leg.
Neighbors claimed to have flocked the pathways and listened in as the boys were being interrogated and executed. But didn't the police officers say that the boys were all dead by the time they entered the house? Strange. What makes it even more strange is that after the crime scene was assessed, it told a completely different story. 6 of the 7 boys had been shot in the head. In total, 46 gunshot wounds were found on the bodies, but only 22 bullet holes were in the metal windows and doors where the police fired. Only 3 bullet holes were found to have been fired from inside the house, and was made by a 5.5 millimeters round that was not among the guns that the police claimed to have found in the house. After these findings, the case took a sharp turn.
The police, up until today, has no record of him, and they have no notation of him being involved in any wrong. He was not suspected of doing any wrong, so they couldn't have come for my kid. They couldn't have come for my child as a hardened gun-slinging criminal.
You cannot have 7 gangsters as we have living here. You don't see them going to work. You see them eating and drinking, going in and out. They are responsible, based on our investigation and intelligence, for many of the crimes happening in South St. Catherine.
See Part 2